to be honest, there are some blowouts that I don't know if any diapers are going to keep those in.
Got that right.
Someone wants to see the piece of clothing that they bought on your child.
We kept throwing the bills away, and then all of a sudden I looked at my credit score.
Welcome back to Level 1 Parenting. This is episode 9, where we're going to talk a little bit about the breakdown of how much it costs to have a baby, some of the things that we spent money on. And finances are a huge part about having a child, and it's something that you have to consider. So we thought we might break it down, give you guys a little bit more information on what we spent and what we spent it on. Anything from clothes, diapers, formula, little bills, and stuff like that. And maybe even give you a couple recommendations of stuff that we really, really liked to help you out. So
Yeah, you guys like the new Christmas setup?
yeah.
Wait, no, it's not new. We had it
Last month.
episode.
Last week, yeah.
Last week. But the tree's still here.
Yeah, and there's some ornaments on it.
Yeah, and show him your socks.
Yeah, and I've got pug socks. I don't know if you can see that, but
He's Santa Claus pug.
yeah, Santa pug.
Santa pug.
It would be cooler if he had sunglasses on though. But
And then we made these. Well, Christopher didn't. My mother-in-law did, and my sister-in-law made that one. But it was like a super cool craft with yarn and glue.
Yeah, we're gonna make cookies because that's the family Jones tradition, but they didn't make anything that I could eat, so I was decently disappointed.
But these came out so cute. This one broke in half. It's supposed to be tall, but I haven't even undone mine yet. It's just sitting on the table over there.
She's a slacker.
I am. I'm not a crafty person, but it was fun. But that's because they prepped everything for me. I literally sat down, did the craft, and I was done.
It would have been more fun if we could eat them.
That's not a craft.
But it's good.
How many days till Christmas?
It's
12.
Today it's the 12th. No, it's the 13th.
Yeah, but
Yesterday
there's
was the
12
12th.
days till Christmas.
Oh yeah.
Right?
We could start singing the 12 Days of Christmas. Yes, there's 12 Days of
that's
Christmas. I don't actually know that song.
Hurricane?
I know Partridge in a Pear Tree. That's
Partridge in
literally
a Pear
it.
Tree. That's the first day of Christmas.
Yeah.
Good for us. All right. So yeah, we're just gonna hit this list. It's gonna be pretty casual, and it literally applies differently to every single person. So this is just what we chose, maybe why we chose it a little, and how much you spent. So
Yeah.
You want to do the hospital first?
Yeah. Biggest expense. Well, not even necessarily the biggest expense. Usually I feel like the biggest expense.
Depending on your insurance.
And this is kind of right off the bat. Everything that we had until the baby was born. And then I think you're going to go into a little bit of other stuff. But it's not so much of how much we've spent in the last year and 8 months.
No.
It's more of just
prepping
for the baby and actually having the baby.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple extra things. But we got pretty lucky with our insurance, and we had a good plan, and we had the baby, we had Halston at the hospital that I work at. So it was best case scenario for us. And we paid probably about, I want to say, $900 in just doctor fees, maybe $1,000 in doctor fees. And then actually having the baby at the hospital we paid probably about $1,500 for that. So I want to say we paid no more than $2,500 when it was all said and done to actually have Halston. And it costs obviously significantly more than that depending on your insurance. We just happen to have an out-of-pocket expense of $1,500. But because Halston came in between the years where the out-of-pocket rolled over, there was some expenses in the first year and then the second year, and then combining those was probably about $2,500. But we would get, I don't know if you remember, we would get random fees in the mail for a month and probably a year. I feel like
we just kept throwing them away.
yeah. I mean, we kept throwing them away because it was stuff that I didn't recognize. Random fees.
They just give you codes.
Yeah.
And be you owe $2,000 on this code.
And the hospitals sub out work. So not everything says the hospital's name on it. So she had an epidural, but then we got a separate fee from, something anesthesiologist of Sarasota that the hospital contracts out, but it's a separate group. And we got a bill for like $1,900 just randomly in the mail. And I was like, where is this coming from? And so we would get like all these like random bills. And to be honest with you, I used to work in a side of a hospital where we had a lot of like, I worked with insurance a lot. So I threw them out. I didn't throw them out with the intention to not pay them. I threw them out because they needed to get their stuff together because we were getting separate bills from separate people. And I know sometimes that happens, but everything needed to be run through insurance first. And eventually they just disappeared. So I don't know if it was like fake companies trying to give us bills or if it was like real companies that hadn't run it through our insurance yet. And they were just throwing us bills because they maybe hadn't processed it yet and hoping that we would pay more than we owed.
Yeah.
But eventually we paid everything that we owed once everything was run through insurance, and it was probably about $20.
Yeah, and then we didn't like, we kept throwing the bills away, and then all of a sudden, I looked at my credit score because we were, like, trying to buy a house at the time, a couple months ago, and my credit score had, like, dropped tremendously, and I was like, "What?" And we realized that a debt collector had bought the debt from the hospital, and they were, like, coming after us, so I don't remember what I paid them, like,
That's probably about 600 bucks.
yeah, $600, and it literally just, like, wiped away so many bills. I paid another one too, but it made it pretty easy because then we were like, "Okay, there's literally nothing left at Sarasota Memorial," like, we checked online, they had given it all away to the debt collector, so we just paid him and we were done, and I got a discount with the debt collector.
I don't necessarily recommend
Don't
that.
Yeah, but my, credit score went back up, and we're all good now.
Yeah.
Good peace of mind, though, to know that there's no bills, like, floating around out there trying to chase us still, so
Yeah. Having babies at a hospital, very, very expensive. And we stayed for one night. So if you have to have the baby stay multiple nights and it has to be watched over multiple nights and maybe it needs like critical care for multiple weeks, like that's a lot of money.
yeah, that's
So,
true. Incubators and all of that probably cost a lot.
yeah.
Thankfully, Halsey didn't have to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, and ours was best case scenario. So that was like $2,500 right off the bat.
Yeah. So, after hospital, I guess we could hit like stroller car seat because we
Mhm.
literally took her home in a car seat. So, we did the Nuna Pippa. And if I could go back and do it again, I would do the same car seat, but in the light version. There is literally a lighter
Like
version of the car
color?
seat. No,
Oh, okay.
weight-wise, they made it like still as safe,
I was like,
but
I don't know if I wouldn't
it's
want black.
no, but we love that car seat. It
Yeah.
was so nice, and what I really cared about was, like, Halston being comfortable and the safety,
She was chilling in that
and
car seat.
it, like, kills me when I see those car seats with, like, this much padding and you're sticking your little baby in it. I'm like,
And then
"That's
you
probably not
you
very
take the
comfortable."
padding off and it's just like
Styrofoam or,
which
like
ours was technically styrofoam, partly styrofoam if you took it off too.
but,
I mean,
yeah,
they have to make it out of
the
something, whether it's plastic or part plastic and styrofoam, but it's just like there was no padding on a lot of them,
But yeah, but I had, like, wanted it, but the car seat and the base combined is a total of $450 if you buy it brand new, and
which is like decently expensive.
yeah, it's definitely more expensive than just getting, like, a Graco car seat or something like that, but I wanted it because I knew it was one of the most, like, highly rated safety options, and 2, the quality and the cushioning for her, and 3, it was aesthetically pleasing, like, the brown leather
Listen,
handle.
we take a lot of pictures of her in her car seat. It's gotta look good.
It's
Everyone's
just
taking pictures of
beautiful.
her.
And then okay, so the car seat's 450 if you buy it new, but I found it on Facebook Marketplace for
And
150.
it was like really good
It was
condition,
in,
like
like
super good
it was in
condition.
perfect
Yeah.
condition, it just smelled like air freshener because of her car. She
Yeah, it was
had, like,
gross.
those, like, weird freshener things, so I just washed it and aired it out, and it didn't smell like apples anymore. But I don't, like, always recommend buying on Facebook because of 2 things. 1, if you do, you need to ask the person if they've ever gotten in a car accident with the car seat because
Mhm.
once it's in a car accident, it's deemed unsafe and you're not supposed to use it anymore. And then 2, you have to always check the expiration date on the car seat because they technically do expire safety-wise. So someone could literally have it for their baby and then like 5 to 10 years go by and they try to sell it to somebody, but like the safety protocols have gone up. And I know everybody has a different opinion on that piece of it. It's not like illegal to use an old one, I don't think, but if you're wanting to be extra safe, then you should probably check that too. But the lady we bought ours from was like very, very, very kind and like honest with us and stuff. So we really lucked out on that. We saved $300
Yeah,
and we love it.
that's
And
a good
we'll
deal.
definitely use it for all our kids. Like it's in perfect condition still
Yeah.
after Halston.
Halston had that one all the way up until like 2 months ago.
She was like, yeah,
3
15
months
months,
ago.
14 months, I think.
3 months ago or so.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
Okay, so Nina Pippa, and then for our stroller, we were pretty picky. We
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that we really enjoyed it. We didn't want, there's some janky strollers out there. And like I said, this video is to each their own. Like this is you're watching
If you
because
want a
you want to
janky
see
stroller.
what our personal opinion is. So our personal opinion was we wanted a nice stroller that was really going to last us, that we enjoyed using. And so we went with
Mhm.
the Mockingbird. And when I bought it 2 years ago now, it was, like, up and coming, and it was kind of like the knockoff of the Uppa Baby Vista stroller and the Nuna strollers, which are upwards of, like, $900 to $1,100, I believe. And so we got the Mockingbird for 450,
Mhm.
and we absolutely love it. It is such a smooth ride, so easy to open
Yeah.
and close, like, so worth the money. Like, I would buy it again in a heartbeat. Like, I love it, and once again, it's extremely aesthetically pleasing. It's got the leather handle,
It is. I
it is
can't even say anything
clean,
about
it
that.
is modern, it is
Yeah.
beautiful, and, like, I enjoyed taking it out places. So, to us, those 2 things were really worth the investment, and we'll use them for all our babies.
Yeah, and I guess for dudes, I wasn't like I wasn't super into it at first, right?
Yeah, you're kinda like, I don't know
Because
about
it's
this one."
expensive. Like, I'm a dude and I'm like, "You just get, like, a plastic stroller. Just get a plastic stroller that we can roll her around in, like, it makes no difference." But I will say, if it's got big rubber wheels with aluminum construction and leather accessory handles, and it had like, everything's adjustable, you can
Everything
reverse
is.
the seat back and forth, the handle goes up and down, she has a bar that comes up and down, there are attachments beyond that that can go,
Yeah.
in and out and whatever, and like you said, super easy to take in and out of the car, you literally lock it and press a button and it, like, collapses,
With
you
one
can
hand.
literally do it with one hand,
I've held Halston
so
and collapsed everything and put it all in. It's heavy, but you can do it. And also, I wanted to invest in a stroller that was convertible to a two-seater, and that one is. You have to pay like an extra 150 for the extra seat, I believe, but to me it was worth it because I'd rather do that than spend money on a cheaper stroller that only fits one kid and then have to buy a double stroller in
like, the
addition.
double wide.
And you will never catch me with a double wide. I hear about this double wide Zoe stroller, and that is just the best thing ever. I'm like, "You
Oh
won't catch
my
me with a double wide stroller.
gosh.
Why would I do that?" Like, so this one, like, stacks perfectly. You can eat so many positions. It's, like, insane. Just look up a review on YouTube. Everybody does reviews on them now.
Yeah,
Totally worth $450,
yeah.
without a doubt.
I wasn't buying it at first, but it ended up being awesome.
Yeah.
Let's talk about formula.
Okay, you wanna talk about it?
I don't really I don't really have much to talk about.
You wanna talk about that time when we were trying to calculate it all?
Yeah, because the issue is that we didn't wanna feed Halston. I think Bethany had thought about it more. We didn't really wanna feed Halston formula that had a lot of stuff in it that she probably shouldn't be having young. I don't know how's a better way to say that? You're more like healthy and stuff.
Okay, so a lot of formulas' first ingredient is sunflower oil, corn,
Corn.
soy, or vegetable oil. And all of those things are things that adults should be avoiding at all costs. They are extremely inflammatory, highly processed, and they can really destroy just your gut. And your gut is what is connected to your brain, and it is one of the most important and vital things in your body. And so if you are feeding your baby corn, soy, and all of these things daily for every single meal, Like, you are not setting your child up for success in the health department, to me. That's a personal opinion, and I just feel strongly about that, so we had talked about doing formula. You can kinda give that conversation if you remember it, like, how hard it was and everything, but I said that if we were gonna feed her formula, I wanted it to be goat's milk because it's easier for their bodies to digest than cow's milk, and then you can also avoid if they have a dairy allergy or creating a dairy allergy, and there's also there's I could give you a whole list of reasons why you should pick certain formulas. But all that to say, the formula I wanted to use was $45 a can, and we would be going through a can every 5 days.
Really? Only every 5 days?
That's,
Man,
like,
I thought it was
over
like
$250 a month.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, she explained all that way better than I could have explained it. I just would say, "Oh, there's stuff in this that babies shouldn't have."
Well, that's good too, as long as you know it. But,
Um,
like, no judgment to parents, like, most parents feed their kids goldfish and Lunchables every day, like,
I
so
had Lunchables when I was a kid.
it's to each parent their own, but, like, that's how I personally feel about my kids, so
Also, with all these hospital bills, with all the stuff that we were buying, I was going to school. I wasn't making very much money. You weren't making very much money. And, I think money was very, like, we were tight on money. And we didn't really realize it then, but we were slowly, like, every month losing money.
yeah.
So we were very conscious of it. So even before we had Halston, I was someone who was like, "Oh, I think you'll really like breastfeeding." And she was like, "I'm never gonna try breastfeeding ever. You won't catch me breastfeeding." And I'm like, "You're gonna try it." She was like, "I'm not gonna try it." All that to say, many, many conversations, she told me that she would not breastfeed, but she tried it and she liked it. But
Yeah,
you
it's a mental
always made
game.
the decision to keep
Yeah.
breastfeeding.
Oh, yeah, you couldn't force me to, like, breastfeed, that would be impossible.
No, but
I could just go out and buy formula.
yeah, all that to say, it was a discussion that we had many, many times over the
Yeah,
course of a year, and every single time we talked about it and you were given the option, you decided to keep breastfeeding.
yeah,
So that saved us a,
a
a
lot of money,
lot
a lot
of
of money.
money.
Mhm.
Thousands of dollars was saved.
What, almost close to 3 grand probably.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty crazy.
yeah. So that's another
Yeah,
expense that we would have had to pay probably over the course of just that year about $3,000. Room costs,
yeah.
setting up Halston's room, since we're talking about kind of like pre-baby. Remember that the thing that you drove to buy, the crib?
Oh, I
You
was
should
like, "What are you
you
talking
should
about?
tell
Why you
that
have a
story.
smile on your face?" So, I didn't really know what vibe we were gonna do for her room, and so I would just kinda search Facebook Marketplace because that's the place to go, and I
Oh
found
yeah,
this beautiful, like, brass crib,
yeah.
and when I looked it up online, they were so expensive, and they were just so, like, elegant and just awesome, and I
It
was
did
like,
look super awesome
"This
online.
is it," and it was in St. Pete or Tampa, it was Tampa-ish,
Yeah,
and I drove at night by myself to Tampa, like, after work, pregnant, and I grabbed this crib from this random lady's house and drove it all the way home. We set it up, and we were like, "This looks
ugh.
so bad in here." Because, well, we had, like, a
Literally, it looked
brownish
horrible.
carpet because we were renting
Yeah,
and tan walls, and the room is really small, so it just did not work. You need, like, 12-foot ceilings with white walls and lots of light for a crib like that, I feel
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Yeah, so it was just not the vibe, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I just spent $200 on this crib. What are we gonna do?" And I was like, I'm not keeping this." So I relisted it on Facebook Marketplace for the same price as I bought it for, and it sat for, like, a week or 2,
Mhm.
and we were getting, like, worried/bummed out because we couldn't
Yeah.
afford to spend another 200 on a crib, And I had 2 ladies message me, like, within an hour of each other fighting over this
To
crib.
the death.
literally, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if they both showed up at the door and, like, were in a fist fight for this crib. And I ended up giving it to this one woman because they were down for vacation and the place they were staying didn't have a crib and she was, like, freaking out.
Bought the
And I
crib
was
just for
like,
vacation.
it was just for vacation. I was like, "You just spent $200. You could have found one for, like, $50 at
Or bought like a
Walmart."
portable one that you could have just taken home with you.
Yeah. Oh, well, they had a pack and play, but her kid was climbing out of the pack and play, and they didn't
Oh,
realize he could do that, so they
yeah.
needed a high crib. And I was like, "Whatever." So
They
I
bought
sold
a
it.
brass crib, an enormous brass crib for like 4 days of vacation.
I'm gonna put a picture of it on the screen if you're watching on YouTube because it was
Yeah,
nice.
it was super
But
dope.
all that to say, we broke even, and so then we went and bought a nice, cute, white, modern crib from Target.
It's probably about the same price, right?
Yeah,
A little bit more maybe,
it
like
was like
2
$20 more.
yeah,
Yeah,
which fit our vibe
it was
way better.
$220. I'm gonna put a link below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one we loved, we still have.
Yeah.
And that one converts and has like size adjustments, which I'm sure they all do. And then it transfers to a toddler bed eventually because you can take the side off.
Yeah,
So,
isn't it crazy that it's on the lowest setting? Next up is toddler bed for
yeah.
her.
Yeah.
So
We
wild.
always push our luck because we see her like on the monitor and she's standing up and like the crib's at like her chest and we're like, she could probably easily just flip over that. And every single day we're like, we should probably lower that. We should probably lower that. And one day we're like, we should probably lower that.
But she has a sleep sack on, so I'm not as worried about it. It'd
That's
be
true.
really hard
Because
for her to
she
climb.
wouldn't be able to like grip with her
Yeah.
toes or anything.
And she's not that kind of baby either. She's never made an attempt to get out of that
I
crib.
don't know. She climbed a ladder the other day and I was like,
Yeah, but
girl, you're crazy.
she has such a healthy relationship with sleep. I don't feel like she would try.
Thank you, Lord.
I don't know.
I have a very healthy relationship with sleep as well.
Oh my
I
gosh.
sleep a lot.
And then the dresser was about $290.
Ugh, a dresser, yeah.
And that took forever to find. We were really picky on the dresser. We had like a vision in mind of like a white
Yeah.
modern dresser with slanted legs, and we finally found it. And then it got to our house, and we thought pieces were missing. Turns out they were there. We just were totally looking over them. My mom and I built it. You were at
Oh,
school.
yeah. I was like, I don't remember that.
And then it was all chipped, so we ended up getting like almost $70 back on it.
I mean, I have no memory of that.
And yeah, and I don't even see the chips anymore. Like, I don't even remember where they
I don't
are.
either. I never knew
I
that
don't
they were
care.
chips to begin with.
Like, I will keep a damaged product if I get money off. I am all about that. I get excited
get
if
those
there's
deals.
damage. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can get money off. So, dresser's super cute. We'll put a link of that too because I found that again.
Chair, rocking chair. Did we
Oh,
talk? We talked about that, didn't we?
We talked about the rocking chair on the postpartum video, episode 8.
That's
we
right.
talk about that.
How much did we pay for that?
We
ratchet
paid
chair.
around $200. Yeah.
Which for a chair isn't bad.
Oh no,
Like
yeah.
if you were to buy like a really nice rocking chair, you'd be paying like $500.
Yeah, I have the link, but I'm like,
Just put a picture of it. Don't put no link up to that one. Put the link up.
here's
Put the link. Yeah,
Okay.
you should do it.
the links below, but we do not advise buying this unless
Don't buy it.
you just want to be super
Absolutely
cheap
not.
and you don't care about a footrest. And if
Yeah.
you don't know what we're talking about, watch the last episode and you'll understand it all.
Yeah. It's ratchet.
But we didn't buy a rug because we had carpet and we were trying to save money, and we didn't really see a point to buying a rug on top of carpet if we're
Yeah.
saving money. And then I painted the walls, but that was like super cheap. I wanted to buy wallpaper, remember that? And it was gonna be like $200 or $300
Yeah.
for one wall.
So then you painted it white, and then she did like whoosh, whoosh,
yeah, I did
like
like a
swipes
design.
with our colors.
I
Yeah.
have a photo. I'll put it right there. But it was super cute. I loved it. Her room was a vibe for a rental apartment. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was super cute. I think I had pictures. Yeah, I'll put pictures of the room.
It was like one of my favorite pre-baby parts.
Yeah, it was a lot
It
of
was
fun.
love-hate because I had like this whole music gaming setup,
Forgot about that.
and then I thought I was gonna keep it. I really thought that.
I was like, babe, let's split the room.
And I was like, I was down for splitting the room. I said, we can split the room. Half of it's going to be, our stuff, half of it's going to be baby. Because I'm thinking, it's a baby. What does the baby need? The baby doesn't need anything. It doesn't need like,
And it's a small room.
it can sleep there. We can take it out. It's not going to know any different. The baby doesn't want nothing, And so eventually she was like, oh yeah, you can start taking out all your stuff now. And I was like, what? I said, I can start taking out what? And she was like, yeah, like all your music stuff and all the computer stuff.
Yeah, but while I started thinking about it, I was like, I'm gonna need to rock her. And we didn't have room in our master for a rocking chair.
It's
And I
true.
was like, so we have to put it in there. And then I was like, where are we gonna put all her clothes?
Yeah.
Like, we had to use that room. There was no not
Yeah.
using it.
There was
But it was comical.
a single tear shed for my fallen room that I thought that I was gonna use.
Okay, so I think one of the last things is diapers. What do people always say about diapers, babe?
People say that the most expensive thing that you will buy for your baby is diapers. I straight up thought we were gonna be spending like $600 a month on diapers.
People are like, you
That
should
is not
cloth
true.
diaper to save money and all these things. And we're like, maybe we should. Remember when we looked into that?
I was like all in on cloth diapers,
Yeah,
because I was like, if we can breastfeed, use cloth diapers, we're not gonna be paying nothing for this baby. We have a
yeah,
free baby.
yeah. But then my baby shower happened, and baby shower covered a lot of things.
Yeah.
So we were very blessed in that way to have like
Get
so
yourself a
many
registry.
generous people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like there's a lot of things we're not listing right now, and I'm gonna make a
Like
video.
miscellaneous, just random stuff.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a like baby must have YouTube video aside from the podcast. It will probably be out in like the next week, I think, if I have time. So that will kind of cover the whole like baby shower costs
Mhm.
of everything because that's a lot of things as well. So we're kind of doing big ticket items, but we thought that diapers were going to be big ticket, like you just said.
Mhm.
But we didn't have to buy diapers for the first like 3 or 4 months of Halston's life because of the amount that we got at the baby
Yeah, I mean,
shower.
everyone buys you diapers, it's such a nice thing to do.
Yeah, so we had enough for 3 to 4 months of her life, and then I was kinda, like, buying random brands, and then I came across the Walmart Parents' Choice brand, and let me tell you, you can buy I wrote it down, a box of 132 diapers for $26, or you can buy a box of Pampers diapers, there's 84 diapers in it. Guess how much that one
So
costs?
how much was the first one?
132 for 26
So
bucks.
132.26.
And Pampers is 84 for how much?
I don't know. I don't wanna guess too low. Like 35?
45.
That's like double the price.
And half the diapers, almost? A little
Dang.
under. Like, ridiculous, and you're literally just paying for the brand because I'll tell you, I've used Pampers, I've used Huggies, I've used Target, I've used Walmart, and Walmart, I prefer over all of them because you don't have that baby smell that Pampers and Huggies has. It's cute when they're newborn, but it kinda gets old.
I'm gonna be completely honest, I don't know the difference. But then Walmart, the ones that we're using now, they work fine.
They are fantastic and you save so much money. I typically only buy 1 box a month and it costs us about $25.
That's
Are you kidding me?
that's awesome.
And if you were buying Pampers, you'd be spending 90 or over $90 a month probably on diapers because you have to buy 2 packs of those.
Yeah.
And it's one thing if like your baby is sensitive to certain diapers. I've heard
Yeah,
of that and
if
we
they're
got
getting like a
super lucky.
rash or something like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
we got so lucky that Halston didn't have that issue, but yeah. And then, okay, last thing is clothes. You wanna talk about clothes?
Yes, only because I got so many clothes from my female coworkers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, literally, I had medical field. Lots of women work in the medical field.
And they're all like
L
30 to 50 years
Lots
old.
of moms work in the medical field. I got and I was going to school for something medical, and every single one of my classmates was a young mom, more or less. So, I got clothes on top of clothes on top of clothes,
Literally.
bins of clothes, brand new toys.
You would come back from a school night with a trash bag of clothes. You'd come back from a shift of work with 2 to 3 bins of clothes. This happened like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, we also got some other stuff, like our mattress, the mattress
Yeah,
we got from my
mattress
coworker.
and the changing pad from your coworker.
Yeah. Oh, and we had a baby shower
Oh,
that
yeah.
my coworkers did for me. We
So
got more
nice.
diapers, more clothes, more everything else.
Yeah.
So I think you're more knowledgeable about how much we spend on clothes, but we did get a lot of clothes up front, which ranged from a lot of sizes,
Yeah, I
from
still have
newborn to like 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I still have clothes, like, I have bins prepped for, like, 3, 4, 5 even. And then, like, my sister-in-law, her niece, like, gives us clothes now too.
Yeah.
So, like, people just love to give clothes. And then if you have grandparents local that love to spoil,
Yeah.
then you're gonna have a lot of free clothes in
Even
that
if you
aspect as
ask
well.
people to never buy you clothes, everyone wants to see the piece of clothing that they bought on your child.
Yeah.
I don't even get mad about it. I just kind of accept it. It used to be like, don't literally like, we have too many clothes. Do not buy us clothes. But eventually I was like, we can say that, but they're just going to buy us something else because they know we want like diapers or like wipes or maybe like a toy that we want. But they're also going to buy clothes. They will
Yeah.
always buy clothes.
I remember on my baby registry, I barely put any clothes because we'd gotten so many for
Mhm.
free. And I wanted other things that were like necessary. People didn't care. I got so many outfits. And like once we got them, I was like, oh, these are so cute. I'm so glad they got these. But like in the moment, I was like, why? This wasn't on my registry,
Yeah.
you know? But I think that budget can vary because you have like Kate Quinn clothes, which is like a boutique,
Mhm.
and you're buying $40 like outfits for your 1-month-old.
I am one of those people. I will wrap that baby up in a towel before I buy them a $40
Okay,
shirt.
I have bought Halston a couple high-end things because like they'll range from 6 to 12 months. So she's worn outfits for 6 months because of how they design them. They grow with her and they're very nice quality. So I have splurged a couple times like on a sale. But for the most part, we personally like grandparents, hand-me-downs, and Target. And quick tip on Target that we just figured out. If you haven't seen it yet, it's all over TikTok and Instagram. It's gone viral, but you can return used Cat and Jack clothing, which is the Target brand, and they will refund you in full. And one of my best friends literally has gotten over $200 back on clothes from her kids that were worn out, like old dirty shoes and everything. So everything that I buy personally for Halston is Cat and Jack now. Even if I see something cuter, because I'm like, I have a small budget and I'm just reusing that budget and never spending anything else. It's insane. It's such a
It's
life
genius.
hack.
Yeah,
And it's in their policy.
that's amazing.
Like, it's not, like, dishonest or anything. Go look it up. It's in their policy.
Clothes are fun. Clothes are just fun.
It's just
Like, just
wild.
have fun with the clothes. That's what we do. And I used to think like, I don't really want hand-me-downs.
Yeah.
Like originally because I was like, I feel like I always see kids like in raggedy like hand-me-downs, and I'm like, I don't want people to think like,
You
it's
threw all the racketies away.
all we have is like, rags for her. But every time she wears something new, I'm like, where did you get that? You're so cute. Like, I love this.
Yeah, and I remember wanting only neutral clothes for her, and then the bins you got were, like, princess unicorns,
I
and I
love
just
some
kind of
princess stuff for her.
yeah, I kinda just put my own wants aside and was like, "You know what? Like, we can't afford all the neutral clothes, like, and we were blessed with these, so I'm not gonna, like, cry about it. That would be silly."
Yeah.
So, you might see Halston in a unicorn shirt, and just know that I did not buy that for her. That was a hand-me-down.
And I probably didn't buy it either. Probably a hand-me-down. She definitely didn't put it on her. It was me.
Like, you see Halston in a ballerina shirt,
It was me.
best believe I did not buy that for her.
Yeah.
I bought her the
I love
cute,
it
like,
though. She's
green
so
shirt
cute.
and the brown shorts and the mustard tops, like,
I like
that stuff I
having
bought.
like a little baby princess girl. She's like a little princess. She's just a little,
Teeny tiny
just a little
princess.
one. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's just kinda like a rough overview of, like, big ticket items.
Yeah. So it was decent. I mean, if we did the math on all that, it would probably come to about $6,000 or so that we
Yeah,
spent.
but, like, the beauty of it is there's so many brands out there that, like, if you don't have the finances or you don't desire to spend that kind of money, you could do it for even
Yeah,
cheaper.
just
So
don't have to. Yeah, you don't have to do that.
go to
Just
Goodwill and buy a stroller. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
If you're down for that, do it. So,
Yeah.
but thanks for listening and for hanging out with us,
Yeah.
and we will see you next week.
next week.